On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, it's time for a Tunguska Pre-game raids. Not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends or Shade Ratto Legends. Anyway, hi. I'm one of your hosts, Lightning Man Omega. With me, as always, Mr. Electric Lucky.
Sorry, that is a current Discord joke that you would have to join to understand. But I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Winner Winner Christmas Dinner. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest FGO related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events with the JP and EM version of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should get ready for the Russian winter.
Yep. Yeah, we're having fun here.
At least Robyn's a champ about it.
Robyn's usually pretty good at taking it on the chin. Anyway, okay. It's time for Let's Talk FGO. There's no take two, it's take one. Lucky had a hot cocoa before this. I had a second cup of coffee, because groceries are tomorrow, not today, so I had no more cola. Needed some extra caffeine. So we'll see how juiced everybody is. Because hopefully today will be exciting. But that's for later. But first, let's real quick give a shout out to our patrons, including but not limited to Alan Hart, Blackstow G, Call Me Zed, Carlos Dragon, Fuzzy Size Bird, Jerry Vasquez, JDV9000, Just Fate, Jonathan Senval, Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, Trevor, Sean Pryor, Some Guy Named Bob, and Varian the Crow. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early and more. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
And as always, speaking of our Discord, it's not just those who are listed, but many of those people who are listed are able to join in and listen to Let's Talk FGO get recorded live every week, so they are the peanut gallery that will be the source of many chuckles. I almost said a second part after chuckle, but we would go for 2 minutes. I'm about to say wake the fuck up, Senpai. I can say chuckle fuck. Anyway, that's where we're at. So, let's check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mash.
Senpai, 起きてください.
That's because it is time to wake the fuck up, Senpai. And today's pro tip is beat LB6. This is your final warning. I am no longer asking. There it is. I was looking for that myself. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Also, MASH and the gun cock is actually very relevant for reasons we'll get into later. We still have the MASH gun emote? No. We have Rhymes gun. We don't have the MASH gun emote anymore. Alright. Anyway. Join our Discord. Many emotes. But yeah, no, that's it. That's the pro tip. That's it. Like, the raid event probably starts in less than a week from now, which is why we were doing the pregame. And, you need to be past LB6 to join it. So, if you're not, well, good luck, buddy. You will at least have a clear campaign soon, but we'll talk about that in a second as well.
Good luck.
That one's gonna get a couple of uses tonight. But first, let's check in with Records from the Throne, our regular achievement topic. I have cleared my basic 10 boxes and a little bit more. I think I'm in like box 12 or 13 right now. I'm doing some last minute farming as we speak, with literal hours left. But cleared all those, got my Santa Martha's NP maxed, got her Smile protected, got my brand new Galatea from last week's Smile protected. She's actually quite handy on this last node. Also, I did get a CE drop. Thank God. I was a little worried for a little bit. I think I've gotten like 1 extra or 2 extra. I don't remember. I'd have to check. Also, hey, this is in a sub bullet point because it happened literally while we were setting up to record the show. But also, my Arash hit Bond 11. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I got 30 sync words.
For me, I have cleared only 20 boxes. I am, as Omega is doing, farming right now. Did I just get a CE drop? I did.
Swag.
No, sorry, it's just like, I just saw it in my rewards and, double take. It's like, wait a minute. Well, okay, so, slightly relevant. I also MLB my event CE, and I got 2 extras now. Again, not gonna necessarily what I'm gonna do with it, but Santa Martha Smile Protect, NP5 as well. Also got my Akuni Smile Protected as well. Speaking of event CEs, though, we're gonna switch on over here to Not All the World Diva, but damn close. I spent all the quartz I had on hand trying for event CEs just because, they're nice. And, oh god, I think I spent like 90 quartz. I didn't have a lot because, I'm horrible at, saving things. But I was only able to get the 4-star CE, 1,000 Nights, which is very nice. Has Shahara taught in a fucking cocktail glass, which I'm like, this is delicious. But I was not able to get the Melusine CE, and I'm slightly confused on that. Just floating in the abyss of like, do I want to spend money on a CE? Answer is probably no, unfortunately. So I'm slightly upset about that.
My CE luck has also been terrible. I think I've spent like 20 summons worth of tickets on the Benny N banner just in case, and no servants. I also might have like one copy of the 4-star CE, and that's about it. No 5-star. Very loosey goosey. But all right, as Galatea chisels up another guy, that's achievements and woes, wheel and woe, as they say. And that means it's time to double check in. Did you finish your master missions? Hey, guess what? I was right. There was no event-specific master missions. They are continuing to be very generic. You need to defeat 3 balanced servants, 3 evil servants, and then 15 enemies of the Earth attribute, 15 enemies of the Heaven attribute, and then 20 and then 40 enemies, neither of those being servants or certain bosses. So obviously I'm pretty sure you can accomplish all of this by just doing certain event quests, and if needed, you can scoop up, the others by just doing dailies. We're real lightning fast hours here.
Speed!
Boy, howdy. But from there, that means it is time to move on to the news with Skelegrams.
Every time you say that, I just want to go, nah! Every single time.
That is the voice I'm doing. I'm out of here, He-Man.
Joke's on you, I'm into that shit!
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Smash. Walks in the mirror, smashes mirror. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Skeletor. Though, shockingly, I'm sure we could milk that for a while. But we are here to talk about news. And first, we do technically have the JP news. Because it's the pre-release campaign for Christmas 2023. Started the 11th, goes until the 31st. So, during this time period, it's relatively simple. There's not, any special stuff, because I think the Gouda Gouda is not over for a few more days, so you still got, 20 days worth of Apple logins and stuff to get through. But you've got quarter AP up to Trom, because this will require a Trom clear. You've got Leyline Stones back in the MP store, which are intended to be used up to, Trom and so on. We did get a preview of the upcoming welfare. They showed off a image, which obviously being a silhouette is not super helpful, but there are a couple of interesting design elements that we can look for. And we did confirm that... yes. So it was said that the welfare would be the last new servant to release for the year of 2023. Their ID is 401. And I believe that Kenshin was 400. So that does mean by the transitive property, if that's correct, that there will be no new SSR for this event, but there is a new welfare. And a lot of people are suspecting Christmas Nemo because, well, there's a tiny trident on this person's gun. Also, I think Nemo does actually have twin tails, or can in some variations.
I believe so.
But yeah, so we got a loosey-goosey preview, and the event is expected, it is planned to drop on the 20th Japan time. That does seem to be, though technically still a tentative schedule. I don't know if the maintenance is scheduled yet, because we're still a few days out from that, but that is the plan. And as we said last week, I believe, that will be written by Nasu, so, it'll be interesting to see. And that means we can move over to NA, because it is time for Story Support Part 4, starting the 17th, going until the 31st. So, first, the big one, lots of people looking forward to this, but it's finally Teapot time, everybody. That's right. You've heard about them for 2 years now, literally, but Stargazer's teapots are being added, and consuming a teapot will double the amount of bond earned at the end of a quest. Note that the doubling effect applies after the percentage increase from bond increasing CEs and MASH, her special passive to increase bond. So it's just whatever amount you would have earned after all your bonuses, double. Teapots are not used if you abandon a quest or it had no bond reward. Basically, it's one of those things where you tell the game to use a teapot when you start the quest, and there is an automatic toggle. But you're not actually spending it until the quest is over. So if you have to leave, quit, not try again after a failure, or you just, your phone crashes in the middle of an event, whatever, it's not spent, which is nice. And I do want to remind everybody, though, your teapots are a limited time resource. They are similar to Leyline Stones. There is no reason to hoard them if you can spend them. I believe that our first batch will be good until sometime in February, so keep that in mind. When this event actually starts, we will have some limited time master missions. I believe to get your teapots, you need to be cleared with LB6. Duh. But you'll get 20 teapots to start. There are also some other ones for clearing story and so on to get some extra 3-star foes, up to 12 Saint Courts, and an extra free Bond Grail. So, lots of other little goodies. And the big one, if you are somehow, despite my warnings for like a month about it, not caught up on LB6 before the new event, and you want to get them raid mats, AP for Part 1 and Part 2 will be 0. There will be no AP cost for Part 1 or Part 2, all the way up through current content in LB6. EOR, as usual, is excluded. But yeah, so we're really trying to drive it home to be caught up. There will be banners for Writer Da Vinci and Melusine. Oh, VX isn't working.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, I know Discord was a little fucking scuffed earlier, so... I think you can also type FX Twitter?
Let me try, because
Anyway, you just manually copy the image. Well, I'm glad you got the link for credit. But yeah, so we're getting a lot of little stuff. The Da Vinci banner is already up. That has the 2 4-star Tamlins on it. And the second banner will be Melusine plus Saber Lancelot and Percival as the 4-star.
Hold up. Hold the fuck up.
You okay, buddy?
3 CE drops.
Quoi?
Yeah, and the 2 golden apples I've gotten 3 CE drops.
Well, okay.
It's been, less than... I've done 7 runs, 2 minutes. It's been 14 minutes, 3 CE... What? Why? Why here in the last fucking hour of this event are all these CE drops all of a sudden showing up?
Well, I've seen other people. I believe one of our other, Discord users is also having this problem. They're approaching, MLB 5 with their amount of farming. It's just, it's really been picking up lately. So, yeah, I guess it's just the fucking inverse rule.
It is. It's the fuck with me. I'm being fucked with. Lucky, fucked with.
Someone is fucking with me. Okay, alright. Where's my brain? Right, the banners, yeah. What, the banners? Honestly, I was thinking about maybe, throwing any tickets or other weird shit I got at the Melusine and Percival banner. Mostly for Percival. But I think I'll hold off on that if I'm going to do any weird rolls, because reasons. Anyway, hey, speaking of reasons, continuing on with North America, Chaldea Broadcasting Volume 18, full volume, not small volume, will happen on 12/21. Our guest speakers will be Rumi Okubo, which I misspelled your name in my notes, which Google didn't catch because it's foreign, and Minami Tanaka will be the guests. And I said when I wrote these notes, this will almost assuredly be the kickoff for Tunguska, so we're pre-gaming later. There was a follow-up tweet, because there's a social media campaign for 6 Saint Courts. But there was a follow-up tweet literally today after I wrote these notes, which is very explicitly hey, they're going to intro you to the Tunguska Sanctuary event. So, yeah, we are very clearly doing the Tunguska Shuffle. So, yeah, that's there it is. That's what's happening. So, everybody, brace yourselves. Also, to continue our kind of generic, Type Moon news, following up from the notes from last week. It's been announced before, but it finally happened. Mahoyo is now out on Steam.
Woo.
So the Steam release has procced after about a year. I'm going to guess that's probably also going to be the window for the Tsukihime remake. There is apparently a revision of the translation/localization for this. The Switch and PS4 versions will be patched at a later update, hopefully in the not-too-distant future. But if, anybody was going online and doing, line-by-line comparisons of the translation because the people in this fandom are freaks, that's why. There may be some differences. Apparently, the updates will occur on both ends soon. But yeah, good for them. Hope it does well. Love to see more shit. I mean, we're all hoping that a Faith Stay Night port gets announced soon, because it will be, 20 years next year. But that will be your Barnaby the news. Now we are. Okay. Well, with that then, let's get on with this week's Let's Talk FGO mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. You hit a refresh here. Slap! And let's manually count these, because I don't trust YouTube. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it is only 6. Well, okay, it was 6. It was 6 earlier, so it was accurate before.
Yeah, I don't know. You see, this is the problem, YouTube. You betrayed my trust many times before. Now I can never trust you again. That's just how it is. But with that, let us get started right meow. And this first one, comes from ready for some beast action, wink. They put wink in all bold, so that's what you get. So with Christmas Lotto being basically done by the time y'all are recording this episode, we have 1 hour and 6 minutes to go. I wanted to gear my question towards what comes next. Tunguska Sanctuary. So my question is, obviously, we'll probably find out from story, but what are your theories on why grail casting comes to existence with the completion of Tunguska? Me? No idea. I really don't care. Just tell me. Just tell me in story.
I genuinely have no understanding, and this is don't want to say it was like pulling teeth, but like I feel like it was very slow for people to even like, because there's a lot of comments like, oh, we get grail casting early, and then some people are like, no, it'll only come after Tunguska, and I swear that it was like 2 months of that before people were like, no, it's only in story of Tunguska you get the grail casting, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess we'll figure that out later.
Yar.
And I have absolutely no fucking clue. Like, Miss Crane makes sense with the dressmaking shop. Otherwise,
yeah, like there would answer, and we will get there, and I am happy with that.
Oh
so, unfortunately, we will. The what?
I said, oh boy, will we get there.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you're not planning on doing anything other than reading this holiday season, chat.
Haha, joke's on you. I'm into that shit. So, we move on to the next one, though, and this next one comes from Survive Potero Season. Now I can rest. What do you mean there's a part 2? They say, hey, Lucky and Omega, hope your holiday seasons have been going well. Is there anything you eat and drink for the holidays that others find surprising? Send you with a box of Poteros to get you through the farming. Please don't. They're spreading. It's affecting everything.
I don't have any space in my room to store spare Poteros.
Oh. No, I'd have to say, usually I'm pretty... I don't think I eat anything weird for holidays. Like I said, I'm planning a Christmas dinner. Haven't completely figured out the menu, but we're going to be having ham. Probably going to be making mashed potatoes, bacon wrapped asparagus. Should probably actually figure out a couple finger foods. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do there. But no, it's just nothing crazy. Just food.
Probably the closest I come is because my birthday happens in that gap between Christmas and New Year's. Also, hey, by the way, heads up everybody. My birthday's on a Friday this year, so there probably won't be a Let's Talk FGO that week. Unless it's live on the Saturday or something. Actually, no, that probably won't work. I think all my family is bundling in that weekend, so we might just take the long weekend off. It is New Year's weekend anyway, so I don't know where people are at, but I don't take a lot of days off, so my birthday will count. But usually, despite the fact that some of you may find this weird, I usually like to get fast food on my birthday because I eat it literally none of the other 364 days of the year. So that's just a little tradition I do that technically is during the holiday season, and some people might find it strange, but like I said, I have a reasoning for that. Because getting shit delivered to the suburbs is expensive. Man, that's me.
Alright, so let's keep moving on. This next one comes from the Tyrant King, still shell-shocked that Honkai Star Rail is getting a free limited 5-star, and his name is Dr. Ratio. I do believe I've seen some images of the lad. Seems neat. But a lot of people are just literally doubling down on the Dr. Ratio meme. I swear to fucking God.
I feel like the Honkai team specifically knew what they were doing. Calling him Dr. Ratio.
Okay, so this next one, not this next one. They say, my apologies. Question, hey, Lucky the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Yukon and Megan Cornelius. What? With 2024 soon, what are your rolling plans for next year, and what anime are you looking forward to seeing next season? Anyway, that's it for me. Sending good vibes your way. Wah. And hope you have a great evening. I don't know why. I was trying to fight that yawn, and it just doubled back on me. Fuck.
I feel no desire to yawn. That's the coffee talking. Let's see, fucking scroll. Somebody felt the need to post every single CE drop they got in this event, so I have to scroll by a lot of images. There's the roadmap. Let me open that in a browser tab so I don't lose it. Actually, fuck it. I'll recopy it to Patreon. Alright, I reposted the banner beliefs, our beliefs of the banners. As for anime, I think I can ask that real quick. I'm not sure what's coming up next season, but I believe, is it finally time for Dungeon Meshi?
Yes.
Okay, that I'm ready for that. They announced it way ahead of time, so it's been one of those moments where I'm like, Yes, okay, starts January 4th. 24 episodes. Nice. Yeah, that's something I'm interested in. Let me study this roadmap.
If we're talking about anime for me, I am super interested in It's Time for Torture Princess. It's super great. It has the best lad Hail Lord in it. I need people to watch it. Definitely. Dungeon Meshi is another one. Definitely. Solo Leveling is also supposed to be coming out, which I'm not entirely sure how it's going to turn out. A lot of people have been hyping it up, but I've read the book. I've read a bit of the book, and I've read a bit of the manhwa, and it's honestly it's very stereotypically Korean web novel stuff. I don't know why people love it so much. I really don't. But it's gonna be animated by A1. Your boy Sawana Hiroyuki is gonna be on the OST, so I'm just like, I'm gonna watch it. We're also getting Matosehe no Slave, which in English is Chain Soldier, but doesn't actually mean Chain Soldier because, I don't know, someone's a fucking bitch. You can't use the word slave in a title, I guess. That may be interesting. I do watch that I do read that manga, and it does do interesting things, but it's interesting because it's usually just actions and fucking very, very lewd scenes, so, whatever. Other than that, I'm gonna probably be just seeing, also, Hokkaido gals are adorable. It's very cute. It's the most cute. I almost forgot about that.
All right. So, looking at yonder banner, obviously there's Koya of Darkness right at the front of the year. I'll probably take some swings.
I'm taking a lot of swings.
But there'll also be the GSSR and stuff. But we are going to get the rerun for Case Files, which will include, Hephaestion as 4-star pretender. I'm very interested in that right at the start of the year. Let's see. I don't really need Bezette, so we'll probably give White Day and Valentine's a pass, unless there's any really specific rate-ups for female servants. We are going to start getting Road to 7 stuff, so there's going to be a handful of campaigns of that throughout the year, but I think I'm probably good until, after January's over. I'm probably good until, April, the collab time, because I will probably make an attempt at Super Bunyan. But we're going to get, June is going to be the hardcore time, because that's Trom, and that's going to be Charlie. And obviously then there's Anniversary. I do care about this summer, which is also sad, because I care about the 5-star in the middle banner of summer, but I care about the 4-star on the first banner. So this is the part where I'm going to get 5 Lady Avalons, and I will not get Summer Ibuki, and I will not get Summer Gareth somehow.
Oh, holy shit. Beyond's Journey In is going to have 28 episodes. Holy shit. I didn't realize that.
We get some big seasons, I guess.
Oh, and Apothecary Diaries is getting a second core too. Sick. I watched what they had of the anime, then I completely binged all of the translated manga, so I don't know, maybe I'll be into that, maybe I won't. It's very good, though. I'm still looking at anime coming out, and I'm realizing there's some things that have slipped through my notice, Nozama Fushi no Abokensha is getting an anime, which is good, because I keep trying to read the light novel, and people just keep picking it up and dropping it. I'm like, you sons of bitches! You're gonna make me do this myself, and I don't want to. I'm lazy. Oh, that's right! They're also getting fucking wrong way to use healing magic's getting an anime. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to watch that too. Son of a bitch.
I hope you're ready for long periods of lucky anime.
Hopefully, actually, if I can... Well, actually, I could actually talk about it. Let's see here. Got the 3rd season of Classroom of the Elite, which I hear is good, but hasn't been necessarily my jam. Let's see here. Mashal's getting their 2nd core. Dangers in My Heart, 2nd season. The new season of Blue Exorcist. Oh, what's this one? Oh, wow, they're actually... Okay, I forgot they did make an anime of this, but it's probably not that important. Winter Core's looking pretty good. Which one's this? If we're talking about banners, though, I have 2 definite goals this year, and everything else is wibbly wobbly. 1, I'm getting Coin Sky of Darkness. How much Coin Sky of Darkness I'm getting, I'm not sure. I'm still utterly flabbergasted at Anniversary I was able to pull off an NP5, Coin Sky of Light with little trouble. It freaks me out. It really freaks me out. Second is I'm getting Summer Ibuki. It's going to happen. I am setting, for both these people, I have been setting aside grails and embers and everything. my two big things. But there are a lot of others. Like, I want to get Charlie, because he's a good boy. I want to get Super Bunyan, because she's a good girl. I would like to get Kesuke.
Yeah,
from
I was
the
thinking about that in September as well.
yeah. Who's the SSR in that event? Actually, I don't remember.
T.
Oh
T
god,
lady.
yes.
Sen
Sen no Riku.
Yeah, Riku. I was like, it's Sen no something. There it is.
Yeah, it's Riku. That I would like an MP1 of Sen no Riku at least.
I mean, once that comes out, there's literally only 2 new SSRs left in the year. So
Yeah.
you only have to worry about. Oh my god, I forgot her name because it's Chinese and I'm terrible at those. But the writer in Nine Dragon Mountain, Ellie, and then Britomart in November.
Is Britomart permanent? I can't remember.
It is Britomart permanent. I also do not recall. I'll probably remember before I can fucking type it in.
If Britomart is not permanent, I will probably go for MP1. But if she is permanent, I will wait.
She is limited, only available during special summoning campaigns.
Oof. Then yeah, I'll probably have to roll there. But no, my big is going. My big ones. Who's this year's? Oh, Arc. That's right.
Yeah. And also Jufu. So I will be rolling on that banner.
True enough.
Give me Paisen support. I don't want to jinx anything, but knock on wood. My any luck has been pretty good over the past couple of years. My summer luck continues to be fucking wild, so we'll see what happens there.
We will. Don't worry, I have thoughts, feelings, plans. They'll all get thrown out the window as soon as the banner hits, though. Just you wait.
Yeah. And of course, we, this is the whole snapshot of the entire year of banners, which will not actually be all the banners next year. We'll get some more in there somewhere. They'll find them. Or they'll move them.
They'll squish them.
Yeah. But the Road to 7 stuff is probably pretty guaranteed. We will have the New York Battle Fest. Thankfully, I got my Odysseus finally, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. But there's going to be a lot of these Road to 7 raid-ups. Actually, shit, do I need any of these Road to 7 raid-ups? I don't think so. I think my Lost Belt luck has also been pretty good. Let's see, hold on. I guess the only one I don't have is Arjuna Altar, but I'm alright with that. I've got an Ashvatthana. God, wow, okay. I forgot. They really went ham. There were like 2 years where there were no Arjuna Altar banners in JP, and then there's 2 in this upcoming year. They were like, it's time to undo the seal. Theoretically a cheaper year, yes. Will it be in practice? Who the fuck knows?
Oh, anyway. So, I do believe that is that it for that. Let's move on to the next one, which comes from Monster Girl Aficionado, who says, Dear Lucky Omega, no question this week, just sending good vibes, wah 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 wah, and wishing you well. Keep up the great work. Same to you.
Great work.
Alright, so we move on. This next one comes from Cahulian God, who says, How is your mango? Mine just recently ripened after several years with a full concentration of vitamin NP. I don't remember where my angry mango's at right now.
I have just finished a run, so I can actually check on mine.
I think mine's like NP3 or 4 right now, I want to say. I don't know.
So got 46 drops from that. Nice. 3 crowns. But let's go pull up formation. Alright. My Angry Mango is max level, bond 6, and NP 4 out of 5. Neat.
Hang on, let me pull mine out here. Anyway, this is very weird. I don't know why you put this as the PS. Guys, if the PS is longer than your subject matter, it should not be a PS.
I mean, technically they have a reason for this, but yeah, it's an odd way to section this.
Even if that whole like second section up where it's still the PS is still longer than the main body.
That is technically true.
Hang on, but let me pull out my mango real quick here. Let's see here. Formation, Spirit Origin List, Filter, Special Class. That is not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Let's see here. Where are you? There you are, lad. Oh, mine's 4 out of 5 as well.
Also, neat.
Yep, just need one more.
Thank you, Ark. I appreciate this.
Oh, that's right. The 14 events start today.
Yep.
Not sure.
Hey, guess what? Viera and Hrothgar can't wear. It's the new Santa hat with the beard. The patch notes were posted. I cry every Tim. Though I am glad that they at least managed to make the Fall Guys crown work.
Okay, but the PS is, when trying to catch up on your Final Fantasy live streams, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did one of you mention accelerated reading in Redwall in particular? If not, disregard everything below. You did. I mentioned that. If so, I'm very surprised to find another Redwall reader. In fact, over the past few months, I've been consuming the books of Redwall. I haven't read through audiobook listening during work. Currently, I am Doom White. What Redwall book did you start with? Mine was Rackety Tam. Listen, I started reading the Redwall books when I was in middle school, I want to say. I started with Redwall.
Same.
Sorry for the long windness. Don't find many Redwall windness. Ending on this conclusion, I came to recently that Redwall is one of those works that can be a child or adult. As you make it, on one hand, you have a series about a collective of peace-loving animals that do good wherever they can, but on the other, the world of Redwall can be cruel and merciless. In Doomlight alone, I have read a raven danged by the bells of Redwall, a shrew shot dead by a poisoned dart to the neck, and a bird/reptile cut that feeds sacrifices to a catfish that they envision as a gateway to hell, and feeding it, appeasing it. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. I am that is. I love the log-a-log shrews. Just log-a-log-a-log-a-log-a-log-a-log. Ugh. And hares in their giant appetites. Ugh.
No, Redwall's pretty wild, but I started
Redwall's
with
pretty
the
wild
original myself.
Yeah.
Patron Chat and I were having a discussion about the Redwall TV show while Lucky was reading all of that.
Like, I don't know if I'll go back to the Redwall series. Like, it's been such a long... Maybe I will. I could probably find an audiobook of the series and work my way through it. I don't know how I'd listen to it, though. I don't know if I'd start in, like, publication order, chronological order.
I actually, because my own... the Redwall books are very popular in my family, but somewhere in this machine, I have... I think most of the books that are published in audiobook format, because they were, given to me by my mother, who gathered them all up in order to, gift the audiobook versions to my nieces and nephews. So, like, we got a lot of them going around in the family. So, depending, I may be able to hook you up, Lucky, with something from the stash.
Maybe we'll see.
Those saved.
All right, hey. Let's move on.
Before we do, I do really quickly want to shout out this person. Thank you for going back through our Final Fantasy backlog. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, with that, we're going to move on to our last one, but definitely not the least. It comes from the one, the only, Agent 418, who says, "Hello, Lucky Omega. Have a good weekend, y'all. Same to you, Bidet."
Yeah.
Bidet. Well, let me just open up all these boxes. I am at box 24. Let me see. Let me use all these bronze amples real quick.
I lost the plot somewhere. This run's gone wrong. It's okay. I haven't used any buffs that matter.
Wait, what am I
forgot to set something up in the first wave. Oh no! That's Oh No Counter 2, by the way. At home, chat, count along with us. See how many Oh No's you find at the end of the video. Wow, that was really loud.
Sorry, that was from another Discord server. I was trying to close the fucking soundboard.
That's okay. I may clip that one out. No, honestly, that sounded a lot. Apparently, that sounded a lot louder in my headphones than it did on Discord, because the audio levels are just where we're at speaking normally, which is not how that sounded.
No, it didn't.
Weird. That will probably get cut out though, because let me actually make a note here, because there was a weird, really loud clicking sound a couple minutes ago as well. Let me jot down the rough time period we're at. I'll find him.
Unfortunately, we're just very, very
sloppy.
That one, at least we've tuned to the fucking, audio levels. Everything in our soundboard, I think we've tested.
Yeah.
Tested? Not sure where that was going. Blah. But boy, we, woke everybody the fuck up with that one. In our patron call, anyway. Okay, alright. That was the end of the mailbag, though. Thank you for all your comments. Let me start pushing some buttons, get some stuff going. Okay, alright. That brings us to, as I said, the end of the mailbag, which is the start of the free talk.
Free talk!
Chaldea Free Talk, specifically.
Woo!
So we have 2 items of business. First one, very relevant, as the event, as we said, is literally ending in 40 minutes. Christmas final impressions. Story's over. Hopefully everybody's through it. Time to talk about the event. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact that this lotto is so short, and it feels like there's so little time to, do any of the extra stuff you usually do during a lotto, otherwise I think this event was pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's like I've actually seen quite a people being like, "Oh yeah, I didn't care. I just skipped through everything." I'm just like, oh, "How dare!"
Yeah, no, I mean this event actually has a really good story, and I mean so some of the story quests I did have to actually put my hat on with. I will admit I may have employed Chengong at a couple of points because Martha was mandatory in the front row. But like it's not super hard. It does get a little formulaic. Like literally every time you have to fight the assassin wave of ice guys and then actually go into the thing, which is different mechanics. But the actual writing was all really good. Like you got to see your kitchen crew. We got to see Percival in context for the first time, other than I think a couple of the interludes that came out recently. Since LB6 and actually be the Chaldea Percival.
Mm-hmm.
Great energy with Cat.
I'm glad Cat got a lot of screen time, even if it was just Cat running around and just being Cat. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we had a running gag, but we used it. Emiya got to do some work. Boudica was very prominent.
Like this is the thing I think really surprised me is like how much like it's kind of weird because Santa Martha I would not say is a complex character, but this is an event that let us spend more time with our ensemble cast than just one person.
Yeah,
which I
sorry, go finish.
No, you can finish, please.
Okay, I was gonna say I did mention that obviously it was formulaic, right? But every single time you had to go down into the storeroom to do the thing, you had that same setup with all of your recurring characters are all bundled up together, and we could do these running jokes like with Cat. And then also, actually, then every step of the way, you got some weird shit, like, our new Tengu friend being a Lancer for no reason, and the bit with Sphinx milk. No, don't tell me all those Sphinxes were male. Revenge of the fucking Avenger turkeys, quote unquote. Thanks for showing up to my spiritual Luluwaha, Dantes. Like, so you got those focus bits, but it was the same cast rotating every time, and a decent amount of the discussion of the meals, walking through every course and stuff.
Yeah, I learned a few things.
I do appreciate that it ends, not with a specific location, but how are we gonna get our Christmas cake? Demon pillar of cake.
Strawberries specifically, but it had a unique sprite too.
Yeah, I think that is unique.
It is. I guarantee you that is a unique sprite.
Well, so there is another pastry demon pillar. As I believe in is it Medea Lily's interlude where you have to fight a demon pillar made of pancakes? I'm pretty sure that's not just a gag, that actually happened, but I don't know for sure if the sprite is the same.
Can I look up some fucking sprites?
You may be able to find variations.
Let me see.
The wiki usually has them for the pillars.
English.
Like I said, I don't like it. I know that we've had a similar gag about pillars before. I just don't know, if that sprite is the pink one is unique like that. It's the first time I've seen it in gameplay for sure, because Medea Lily is story locked.
Let's see here. Giant demon god pillar cake. What happens when I click on this? Okay, here we go. I do have an image. We do have a fucking. Let's see here. Okay. So let me post it here. This is ours, and apparently there is a list of them. Let's see here. It looks like closest might be Hagenti, Fenrix. We got Fenrix. We have Demon God Coconut Milk.
Okay, no, it says that I clicked on the specific one for the cake one, and it says it was used as a boss during the Christmas event. So yeah, no, they didn't reuse that. So yeah, it was completely unique sprite and everything.
Double down on strawberry cake. But it's been a while since I slept the Demon Pillar. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I mean it's good to have those callbacks. Like this event was only a Fuyuki clear, so I feel like we were very light on the current story references as a result. Probably for the better. Though obviously we did have Cox Scotty involved, but we didn't really make a big deal of like what was going on with her per se. Just more like she showed up and she tried to help.
Actually, I wonder if that's why I think this story wasn't so necessarily developed. Because with Fuyuki clear, they felt maybe it was best if they didn't go too ham on characters. They
kept it to, I mean, the triangle, the kitchen triangle of Boudica, Emiya, Cat is
Cat.
well established. There's literally that one CE from that one battle in New York and stuff like that. We added Percival to that crew as kind of a fourth block, and that is a triplet that is seen very well. But obviously, if you're not caught up on Lost Belts, you probably don't know a lot about Percival. So this was kind of a good soft intro. And overall, let's see. I'm trying to think, what characters did we use? I mean, Bradamante was technically from a previous Christmas, so you might not get that, but Little Big Tengu was this year. Dantes is literally in main interlude, his event. That's why his event is in main interlude, I think, because he keeps showing up. Other than that, I think most of our characters were, Gareth is bronze, so she's easy to roll. Yeah, I think everything else was, like early. Like, the plot with Nitocris and the Sphinxes and Ozymandias is basically something that could happen at literally any time in the timeline after Singularity, 6, right? Like, that's just a thing that happens all the time.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, that is probably why it was a little loosey-gooseier on the story writing, and so because they didn't want to, burden everybody with heavy story. They would know, because literally in less than a week, another very story-heavy event that is super focused on where the latest plot is going to come out. So they probably, the writing and scripting team in, developing the mechanics would probably wanted to go a little light on things.
No, so yeah, I think, and like I said, actually having read the story, yeah, it's not super deep and super convoluted or something. It's very, very straightforward. But honestly, the more I think about it, I think sometimes Christmas, especially the Christmas event, doesn't need to be something super convoluted. Especially with what Christmas is supposed to be. Spending time with friends and family. You're not supposed to be going off on an adventure. You're supposed to be staying home.
And we've already we've done a lot of dumb Christmas plots. Most Santas need to figure out the meaning of Christmas for some reason every year. Which Santa Martha still needed some help with, but she was pretty on the ball for the most part.
Well, yeah, no, she went to talk to all the Santas. All the Santas were like, I don't know, Santa up. And Martha was all like, you know what? I'm just going to cook a fucking dinner. That's all I need. We're done. Let's go deal with that.
And, we literally did a tournament for Santa that one year and many other weird things. So, nah, fam, we're good. We've got it.
We good.
This actually is themed about the year in the time of year in question. And also, I want to say, despite the fact that it starts doing that characterization with a fucking running gag of Martha chasing down Canis and Mordred, as we've described earlier, this is probably the most character depth we've ever gone in on Saint Martha. Most of the time when she shows up in events, it's a joke about how Summer Martha looks like and acts like a delinquent despite being a saint, or that she's going to, beat up Tarask.
Also, I love that Santa Martha super reinforces the big sister vibes. It's literally a fucking skill. I'm like, oh my god.
Yes. And we also got John in the Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Again, perfect. I wonder if there will be a Big Sister tournament event ever. It would probably be horrifying.
I still want to see it though.
Yeah, it would be funny, but it'd be funny in the way that a train wreck can be funny.
Also,
mass devastation.
I'm gonna be real with this. I'm glad to see I got to see Tarask and him not being constantly beat up in one way or another. The man finally got a fucking break.
Yeah, and he seemed to he had a great time at it too.
Yeah,
he was happy to be here, and I'm glad for that. Good work. Good on Tarask. But yeah, in these story events, we did get these these stained glass cutaways to Martha. You've never seen a funny train crash, with the comedy sounds and everything. I feel like there's actually a lot. Sorry, this is a complete tangent, but somebody was like, "Our train," Robyn's trying to call me out about train crashes being funny, but I've just thought about it. Aren't there actually a lot of weird train related gags in old silent movies?
Oh yeah,
I think there are. Yeah, Buster Keaton and shit. Which, by the way, in real life, those stunts are hilariously dangerous. It's absurdism, but also don't do that in real life. Anyway, but like I said, there's these stained glass inner shots of probably the closest FGO has come in a long time to reminding us about the Jesus Christ,
the J-Man.
Yeah, the big J, which is obviously a very important part of Martha's backstory as a saint, but is something that is I'm not to the general Japanese audience, I don't know how known it is. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that our Type Moon and Fate team do the research, but I don't know like how deep in the casual reader of gacha games in Japan would be, and is obviously a little more sensitive over here in the West. But you know, there's a lot going on, and I mean, I don't remember if this event actually, because Fate obviously focuses a lot on the Tarascon legend of Tarascon, France, but if you guys don't know, Martha of Bethany is the sister of Lazarus, the guy who Jesus brings back to life. So like she would have been witness to like big M miracles. And again, Fate doesn't super get into that a lot, probably because the dragon part is much more flashy. But no, like actually like discussing how she would have gotten on this path to sainthood by just hanging out and having a meal with Big J and being like, this guy's rad. Like that's actually like a good, character dive. And they do the funny in the end where, Martha transforms back and we're all like, all right, good, we're great. And then just, whoop, wait a minute, is that me? Is that me smaller than me? But good event. Positive vibes.
Positive vibes. I think that's the important bit there.
Though, admit it, once again, the 8 days for Lotto, too short. It's too weird. I don't even go ham on Lottos, and I'm already like, wow, that doesn't seem like enough time to do anything. I haven't even smelled the CQs, because people said they were annoying. But that means I think we've got no more final thoughts, and we have been going for about an hour. That means it's time to get into the Tunguska Pre-game after a short break.
Right.
If you're watching this on YouTube, and there's not a break, obviously, you can, pause the video and take a break now as well. Stretch your legs. Touch some cold grass. And we'll resume. Because we're going to be here for a while, Chad. Buckle up. Fasten your seatbelts. Seatbelts, everyone. Sorry, my brain started auto-playing the Magic School Bus theme after I said seatbelts, everyone. Thank you. I that was the reference I was already making, brain. I don't know why you needed to follow up on that one. Anyway, we're going to do the Tunguska Pre-game. Because it's going to be soon. And again, I believe with the timing of where they've placed the stream and where this Christmas event is ending and stuff like that, that it will be technically started by the time we do next week's show. So it'll be good to get in there. All right. That means that Tunguska is right around the corner, and this is going to be primarily a raid event. Honestly, I feel like this event is tailor-made to end up in main interlude, which is probably why it goes there in 6 months. So for those of you who haven't done a raid event before, though obviously we did have one very recently with the Gudu Gudu rerun, though that was a little shorter, here's a little primer. Your main quests are going to be time-gated like normal. You're going to have to, every day a couple more of them will be accessible until the whole event has run its course. Starting on the second day, there will be a current raid boss quest. To access the raid, you're going to need to unlock it by going through story, so catch up that way. The raid will have several difficulties. Pick the one you can do the best at. Tunguska raids are based on total kills, not total HP damage done, so there's no, advantage for you in picking a higher difficulty if you can't clear it. If you can clear a higher difficulty, you will get better drops. I haven't actually jotted down the drops in my notes because it would be very complex, but I will talk about them when we get to that point in my notes. I'll pull the list up, but there's going to be a lot of them. But yeah, basically, you're going to have main quests. You progress main quests until we hit when a raid opens. The raids be tied to certain time gates. And these are global raids, so all masters will be working together to defeat the bosses and progress the story. So yes, this means that other players will be involved. They are not personal raids, X number of clears on yourself. So, over the course of this story, there will be 4 raids, and there are no free quests. It is just raids, just story. There's no currency, there's no shop. It's just, like I said, we're here to read. And do raids. And read. I tried really hard in my brain to construct for a full half a second some kind of portmanteau of raid and reading rainbow. But I don't. Reading rainbow doesn't really work, Let me know your suggestions in the comments, Chad. So, what you're going to be looking at is there's going to be a prologue and an epilogue, which are separate. They are actually accessed from the main Chaldea main room. There are 13 acts of main story. Clearing these will get you 1 copy of the 3-star CE, 16 Saint Courts. You may be wondering how there's more Saint Courts than there are acts of story. There are quests to clear the raids after their lives are depleted, which do not count against the act count. There'll be a Grail, and then the epilogue will unlock the Chaldea Decisive Battle Mystic Code. Remember, the epilogue's not going to be unlocking until, like, the 31st, so you'll be a while on that Mystic Code, y'all. Now, since several of the story fights are just raid fights, you have to, beat them at least once in story once the raid counter is depleted. I'm actually going to talk about the raid bosses and their mechanics first, so I don't have to do that twice. Also, for some of these, several of your raids are going to be rehashes of story bosses, so I won't spoil them outright, but obviously you do need to be done with LB clear for all of this, so you can guess how that's going to go. You can hopefully figure this out. So this is your last chance, Fancy Pants, to get out before I start possibly spoiling some things, as per our spoiler warning at the top of the episode. Also, let me push some NP cards really quick and probably do my last run of the night before the event ends. So, raid number 1! The raid boss is a Rider. The quest itself comes in 520, 720, and 950k HP versions. Also, if at any point I don't leave the K in there, remember these HP values are in thousands. The first raid has 4 million lives, so the enemy must be defeated 4 million times before we get out of here. They are given a demonic trait, even though they don't normally have that. They have a buff for a one-time NP damage resistance, so special resistance NP damage one time, and cannot be skill sealed. You can't skill seal them. That's the rule. During this fight, you will get a special buff and debuff. Servants of the Hominidae type get 1.5k damage increase, so it's like a damage plus, but it's on you. So all of your hominid servants will take 1,500 extra damage. But if you have a servant with a demonic beast trait, they get a permanent 500 damage cut. Nice. You will also get a buff that activates at the start of the fight to get attack up for 5 turns. The enemy has an AoE NP, which gives you +1 skill cooldown. I believe I remember this boss correctly from story. That does mean even if you're at 0 skill cooldown, you will go to 1 when the NP hits, so watch out for that. To give you a little bit more of a preface than that into what this sort of boss this might be, the enemy is a super large king beast, and the music probably won't be as cool as the first time. That should give everyone all the info they need to know. And this raid will drop, obviously there's loads and loads of QP. If you go all the way to the highest difficulty, which is called Divine Beast, for this, you will get drops which may go all the way up to 3.8 million QP per drop. You can get Rider skill gems from this boss, and you can get mats like Gallstones, Ice, Horseshoes, and Hero Proofs. So just keep all that in mind. Ooh, hey. On my last run I finished just now, because I'm going to put my phone down, and I'm out of AP anyway, I got Galatea to Bond 5. Yay.
Yay.
It shows you how much farming I've been doing. So, raid number 2. Raid the Tooth. This is a Saber boss with the same 520, 720, 950k spread, but 8 million lives. They are also bonus demonic. They have a 30% chance to burn you on normal attack. They have increased damage versus divine, and they're debuff immune like 3 times over for some reason. They are immune to burn, they are immune to mental debuffs, and then they are also just immune to debuffs. All of these are unremovable, so I don't remember if this boss was that redundant before, but I think they were. But yeah, it's that version, the version that you just can't debuff. Unique to this fight, they will have 2 hits of resistance to arts and buster cards automatically. So if you have some kind of quick archer who is relevant, or some kind of quick berserker, that's probably more likely. Otherwise, they get increased resistance to arts and buster cards for 2 hits. But I know. Remember how I said that they have a 30% chance to burn you with normal attacks, and also they're going to do other stuff that'll burn you. They have a passive demerit that there is a minus 500 chance to be burned if you can make the field water. So keep that in mind. You still have the damage plus and damage cut buffs and debuffs, and the attack up for 5 turns. The boss skills should include several self-attack buffs. They should be able to give themselves a pretty hefty damage cut and an on-hit heal buff, where they heal, I think it's a lot. I think it might be like 2k HP when you hit them. Their NP is an AoE, which does bonus damage to Divine and burns for 1k. Who could it be? But yes, so get ready for that guy again. Now, raid the 3rd. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me talk about the drops for that second raid. Sorry. That's going to be Saber Skill Gems, QP, and you're going to be looking at mats like Scarabs, for some reason, Rainbow Yarn, Soaps, Aurora Steel, and Dragon Fangs. That's actually, especially for those Saber Gems, that's definitely worth it. So, Raid the Third is where shit gets weird. So, basically, this is not a singular raid boss, but a swarming boss. Basically, the enemies will come in waves for several days and periods, where the enemies have much smaller kill pools, and when they are killed, they become the next enemy in the raid, and then it's only over when all waves are defeated. This is similar to the rotation methods that APOC used for a couple raids. So basically, they're going to come in 5 waves, and they're going to rotate through guys. For instance, the pattern for the first one is 4-1-4 LWB 4. That doesn't make any sense to you now, I understand. That's why I'm not going to list literally every wave, but there is a grid for this. I think also they announced the pattern in the event. But yeah, there's a series of waves. As you get through them, they will swap up. Also, I'm looking at this. God, JP did not have a life. If I'm reading this correctly, each different wave unlocks at different times as we go on. But basically, this started at what I think is server reset December 25th, so Christmas Day. These were completely defeated by 2100 on Christmas Day.
Jesus, why?
So, literally 3 hours later, JP chewed through all of these on Christmas Day. So, this one's going to go fast, which is a shame because there's a lot of good mats in this. But these enemies are collectively referred to as Strange Retainers. It is the Strange Retainer Swarm. So I will just say the mob names, and it's not a spoiler. You'll understand what they mean when you're in it. You still have the damage plus and damage plus received and damage cut for these fights, but your attack buff is switched for a 5-turn 15% bonus to both NP damage and crit for this raid boss. Note, also, I'm going to list the enemy types in alphanumerical order here. Actually, that's not true. It's mostly numerical, but I put an L before an H, but that's fine. This is not necessarily the order they appear in waves. Retainer 1 is a Saber boss at 297k with adds. The adds are Berserkers also. The boss has a skill to give all their allies 20% attack up, 2 hits of evade, and a sure hit, but also gives your beast-type servants sure hit as well. I believe these are permanent. So you're going to see this a lot with this swarm. They're going to do buffs that if you have the right team comp, also give your guys buffs. Anyway, that has 400k lives. Retainer 3 is an archer boss with just 585k HP. When the battle starts, they give you Skill Seal for 1 turn and Order Seal for 3 turns. No other weird factors. 600k lives. Now, you may be wondering, Omega, what do you mean by Order Seal? That means you cannot use effects which change the turn order. The turn order is, or your order setup, I should say. So your units, they're locked into position. You can't plug suit them out or any of that shit. They will still move normally if they die, but no mechanics can move them for 3 turns. So that guy just says no to plug suit strats. You're not. I do not believe, if I understand the debuff correctly, if you Arash or Chengonga guy out, I think you still rotate a new guy in, but you cannot manually change the order mid setup. Retainer 4 is a Berserker boss with adds. The boss itself has 29.4k HP. The boss will just give you a non-removable 50%. Actually, no, it might be removable. I think these are removable. Let me double check. That's Retainer 4. Okay, this doesn't say unremovable, which is good because they're gonna give you 50% attack and NP gain down for 3 turns. So you probably want to remove that. Anyway, they have 500k left. Retainer 5 is a Rider boss with 700k HP. It will give, if I'm reading this right, 1 member of your team 10% defense down for 1 hit and then fully charge its NP. Their NP is an AoE, which burns you and skill seals you. It has 500k lives. If you happen to have been speedrunning some Lost Belts or otherwise are familiar with the story, you will probably recognize some of these mechanics at some point. That's all about to go away because the LMB is a new enemy for it. Actually, also, I wrote that LMB. That's not left mouse button. It's LWB, actually. But LWB is a new enemy for once. They are an assassin. They have adds. The boss has 406k HP. It gives all of your enemies 10k guts 1 time, pierce invul, but damage down versus enemies with invincible. So they still pierce your invuls and your evades, but if you actually have invincibles, they do less damage. Its NP is a single target, which gives them sure hit for the turn and pierces defense. They have 400k lives. Yes, by the way, that is a unremovable 1-time 10k guts for all enemies in the squad. It's very annoying. The HWB is a ruler boss, another new enemy type. It has 610 HP. Also, by the way, there's no, I don't think there's any difficulty selection for these guys. It's just which wave we're at, you know? But the HWB is a ruler, like I said. It has 610 HP. Also, despite already being a ruler, they have a permanent 30% defense up on top of being a ruler. And when they are hit by an NP, they will strip that attacker's latest 3 buffs. Their NP is an AoE version of the LWB, so that's, gives sure hit first and pierces defense. 800k lives. Why have we done this? I don't fucking know. Apparently, Koyansky is busting out her good shit. Yes. And if you hit a 610, a ruler with 610,000 HP, they have a permanent 30% defense up forever, which I will double check if it's removable. Yes, a permanent unremovable passive. They just always have 30% defense up, and if you hit them with an NP attack, they will just steal 3 of your buffs, your 3 latest buffs. They will go away. So I guess try crit strats. You may actually be able to pull that off. There are 2 Avengers in the bonus servant list we'll be talking about later. But Raid 4, which I wrote differently in my notes for reasons you will understand later. Raid 4 is the big bonk. You have a redacted class enemy. They come in 798,000, 1.2 million, and 1.7 million versions. They have 30 million total lives, so we will be here for a little bit. I'm pretty sure the intent is to make us run closer to the deadline, which I'm pretty sure is the 31st. Let me check how long it took JP to do this. Okay. A little over 24 hours. And other than that one time we beat JP's record, usually NA does not go through raids faster than JP does, because JP has some very hardcore players. Like he's posting Twitter links, but I am not sure I want to click them in case sound plays loudly.
No, that one doesn't have sound on it. It's an artist joke.
Okay. I will look at it then. We will take a comedy break.
Control C is a power you should not have.
You can just do that with the Z. The thumbtack on the control button too. That is some true power leveling. Anyway, yes. Raid 4. It's very very specific that it's called 4. You have 30 million lives to chew through. So, this raid boss is accompanied by basically 3 iterations of ads. So you will have a Lancer ad on one side and a Caster ad on the other side. Basically, if you kill those ads, a new one spawns in their place. So there's 2 of each in reserve. And I do believe that they go through the so there's some rotation there. They respawn. You're not fighting 7 enemies at once. So this boss has the Nega weapon quality, which means that they get offensive class advantage against all hominid servants, but they get class disadvantage defensively versus non-hominids. So any servant who has the non-hominid trait, or doesn't have the hominid trait, however that works out, they get to do extra damage. The boss will take 2k curse damage per turn and has a 30% defense down, but each time they make a basic attack, it will reduce your front line's max HP by a percentage. Also, when they are defeated, the retainer ads will give the boss 100k max HP. Also, the caster ads are Moors, so enjoy those passive debuffs. That means you will eat a poison and a curse. Have fun. The damage cut and plus effect has been increased so that the damage you take is increased to 2k, but the damage cut you get is 1k. And you get 5 turns of 10% damage up versus both divine and demonic enemies. But every time one of your units die, all enemies in the field heal not 5k, sorry, that would be insignificant. They heal 50k HP. So, there's going to be a lot of healing going on. Pace yourself accordingly. This boss has skills to apply terror to the team, can increase their max HP and NP charge for their team with skills. Their NP, the boss NP specifically, is an AoE, which ignores defense, so it's not piercing, but it ignores defensive buffs, and does 1 turn of skill seal. Good luck.
Good luck. Sorry, it took me a second to...
I
feel like anytime I want to actually use the soundboard, it takes me like twice as long to actually find what I want to use.
I think it's because we want to make sure we don't accidentally click the start an activity button. Discord, can we move those around a little? Thank you. But yeah, so the boss is big.
Big.
Keep this in mind. All right, so we've recapped all the raids. Let's talk about clearing the actual story now. You will have to clear main story to get to the raids, and that means including actually like fighting the conclusion battles to several of these. So, we do have a fair amount of no battle pips, so get ready to read. There's a lot of reading. The mobs you're going to encounter are going to mostly be the retainers we've discussed already, plus a few fresh ones. So I will give you some recaps of some fights that are actually going to be serious. This does require an LB6 clear, so we are not really fucking around. Act 2 ends with a fight with 3 Jotun enemies who each have 2 HP bars. Their second HP bar is around 180k HP per. You have 1 Berserker, 1 Lancer, 1 Rider. They all do very nasty things when you break their bars. Like, one of them gives their entire team a 50% chance to evade, and another one gives their entire team 3 hits of an invul. I believe all of these are non-removable. Yes. No, these just happen. Also, the third one I didn't mention gives all allies a 20% chance to remove 1 buff on normal attack and gain an extra tick of NP per turn. But there is a little story buff trick to overcome fights like this that I will discuss later, but keep that in mind that there's, spoilers, Ibuki is a bonus servant, so a lot of these enemies are tailored to the fact that you may want to use an Ibuki. Luckily, there is one in story. So we'll skip ahead to Act 4. Act 3 has no fights. Act 4, you're going to have a couple fights with Nikic and some Wyverns. Nikic is going to have 400k and then 600k HP. In the second fight, they will start the battle in Act 4 with 3 hits, 3 turns of evade, and charge NP to max instantly. We're just going to start with NP, because we want to show you that we're not fucking around. Act 6 and 7, you will fight some of the LWB and HWB enemies I described above, and after you clear them, that's going to have the raid... Oh, sorry, I misread this. Act 4 has the raid 1 end, so the story version of that fight is going to have 3 HP bars, 333, 422, and 575 HP each. So, by the way, these are not chump change, these story raid clears. Once you've done killing the boss 4 million times, you have to do it one more time for realsies, and it's actually a fight. Because this boss gets new buffs. When you break their last HP bar, they get 1 turn of invul and auto max NP. Yay! I love it. I love how Robyn phrased this. Omega, why are you doing this to me? This my brother in Heidelin, my brother in Chaldea. I do not control these raids. This is what Losango has given you. They handed me the printout. I am merely reading you the notes. This is the game. So, yeah. Act 6, like I said, you're going to fight some LWBs and HWBs. Act 7, you will have the Raid 2 finale. Raid 2's boss's story version is 298, 385, 419 KHP. When you break the first bar, your entire front line gets buff null for 3 turns. This is unremovable. This should be illegal. This basically says that your front row is going to fucking die. When you break bar number 2, your entire team gets skill seal for 3 turns unremovable, but the battlefield does change to water for those 3 turns, so you will not be getting burned at least.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there are some... We're going to play around with story demerits and buffs in this, basically. But yeah, no, when you break that first HP bar, when you get to that second bar, you're going to be given buff null for 3 turns. You're going to perish. I don't think it's a count. Your buffs are nulled for 3 turns. Have fun.
Oh, this is
and
gonna
I'm
be a
like,
great time.
I won't. I really won't. I hate buff null. It sucks a lot. So Acts 8 and 9 are all just story, but after Act 9 is where the Retainer Swarm Raid 3 ends. There's no special qualities to this fight. You just have to fight one of each guy from the swarms. The biggest HP counts here are the HWB version from this has 243k HP, and Retainer 5 has 219 HP. Otherwise, it's literally the fights you would have just done. There's like no other special like buffs or debuffs they do other than the ones they already used. So like keep an eye out for some of this stuff, because you may actually get stacked up with some debuffs pretty deep. But yeah, so that's just perfectly fine. So, in Act 11, you will fight some small LWB and HWB events, and then that will be the end of the 4th raid. Now, do not think that the story boss, the final boss of this story event, will be easy just because you killed them 30 million times. Oh, no. This is for realsies. This is the real finish. This boss has 4 HP bars. You're looking at 234, 357, 386, and 621 HP. Each bar, they are accompanied by 2 different retainers as adds. When you break the bar, those adds will perish and be replaced by new adds spawning. So, basically, kill them all or don't bother, because just doing, like, chip damage to them doesn't matter. They're going to die and be replaced anyway. Now, this boss in their story fight still has the curse damage, so they're taking 20k curse every turn. They still have the class disadvantage, but their basic attacks still do max HP reduction. And now, if I am reading the way the wiki is formatted correctly, the story version of this fight will have a new passive buff go off called Nega Self. So, the way this works is, I believe your party gets 40% buff success down and another 40% defensive buff success down, if I'm understanding this correctly.
Jesus.
However, the boss's ads also get that buff success down.
It is chaos.
So we're just this trait is called Nega Self. So we're just all in this bamboozling. And obviously you can do buff success rate ups to counter. I also don't know if this is removable or not. It does not say if it's unremovable. So the break bars you're going to need to keep in mind. When you break bar number 1, all of your skill cooldowns will get increased by 3, and the boss gets 50% defense up, but the boss and their allies are all skill sealed for 1 turn. On break bar 2, the boss gives your team 20% chance defense down, and gets a permanent 30% chance to pierce invul. Just, they might pierce your invul, maybe. We don't know. On break bar 3, the boss gives your whole team 500 less max HP for 3 turns, and charges 2 NP per turn, but all enemies get a defense down for 3 turns. I do not know what the percentage is, it is not listed. So, there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of demerits and stuff going back and forth. It is just chaos mode. But you will get big story buffs for this, because it's a big story conclusion. So, your whole party gets specifically bonus damage versus the boss. So you have a passive to just get extra damage on that boss specifically. Your whole party has mental debuff resistance up. This is good, because remember, this boss can do terror as a skill. So you will get resistance to mental debuffs. Your whole party, every party member, gets a one-time unlimited guts with 60% HP. So
Jesus.
Everybody in the squad can die once and come back. When your guts procs, when your story guts procs, you will give all enemies crit down. Let me actually double check the percentage if it says. It does not say, but they will get critical chance down, and you will get a percentage of your NP back. Again, I do not know the exact percentage. Also, you will get a second delayed buff, where if you can actually live 5 turns after using your guts, you will get a new guts for 5 turns. I don't know if it does not say exactly that this loops, but I think this means that if you can keep stalling, you can keep gutsing. Also, every 2 turns, you'll get a battle-wide story support skill will fire. They will fire in order, and they will fire in the order I'm about to list them in. And remember, it's every 2 turns, so it's not every turn. You gotta hold that a little. The first story buff gives your whole party 20% attack up for 3 turns, gives all enemies skill seal for the 1, and also -1 NP charge. So just, every so many turns we chip into their HP. Yeah, it's their NP. It's also 1 turn skill seal. The second one will remove the enemy's first 3 buffs. I believe this is how you can get rid of the boss's 50% damage up on their first HP bar. So maybe you want to make sure you proc that, before turn 4. It removes enemy's first 3 buffs. It makes the field water for 3 turns. I don't know if that actually helps in this case. Maybe the ads have some water-related stuff. But also it cures all of your debuffs and gives the ally with the lowest HP a 5k heal. The third one, remember this procs first on turn 6, gives all enemies, stuns all enemies. It gives all enemies plus 100% curse damage for 8 turns, and gives a 3 times 8 turns buff block on all enemies. So we're going back and forth. You do have to obviously live long enough to do this stuff, but yeah, you'll get some story stuff. You'll get some positives. Now, that's the story boss, which basically concludes the whole thing. After that, it's just no battle pips, and you can get to your grail. So in addition to story NPCs like Taigon Wong and Nikich, you will also have access to, in several fights, story support Ibuki. Your story support Ibuki is basically your crutch to clear the story. In major boss fights, she will literally enter serious mode. And the story support Ibuki will be immune to debuffs. Forever, permanently. Fuck you. You will gain 10 stars per turn. She will get increased star weight, and she will get a special 3-time invul specifically to enemy NPs.
Jesus!
She does not, go serious mode every fight, but yeah, it's basically like the baby version of her serious mode from her Lost Belt boss fight. So if you do not own really good units to clear these story fights, Story Ibuki is there to back you up. Additionally, there is another special story factor I mentioned before. So, this may come as some surprise, but during many story boss fights, you will not be able to use your copy of Habetrat, even though she is a bonus unit. But if you have Mash in your party and you use her first skill, specifically the Black Barrel version, after you select command cards that turn, something special will happen. This special thing will inflict bonus damage to all enemies and will usually debuff enemies with some kind of defensive debuff and a damage down for several turns, but you can only proc this one time per fight, so use it carefully. Remember, this is keyed to Mash's Black Barrel. But for example, remember how in Act 2 I said that there's those Jotuns who do very nasty things? If you use this special story effect, it will strip all enemies of their invincibility. I believe this works even with their invincibility being normally unremovable. And you're looking at usually damage resistance down and damage down for 4 turns. So, use this carefully. I think because this is story, Mash will be Ortonax locked. So, you're going to have to... Basically, they've actually given you an incentive to play Ortonax Mash. You have to be carefully to use it. And also, by the way, especially because I will not explain to you, so I won't ruin the surprise the first time you do it, but I fucking love that this is a thing that they can do, and I hope they do it more. It's great. Some of you may already know because you played the JP version, or you are able to suss it out because I said that it requires you to... It involves Habetrat and involves Mash's Black Barrel skill. Now, we've gone through all the difficulties, but we've also given you the positives. To make raiding and stuff easier, we do have a couple of things. First is we do get bonus servants. Servants get damage bonus for this. It's just damage and bond. There's no, like I said, no currency, no free quests. So, our brand new servants, Taigon Wong and Nikich, get plus 100% damage and 50% bond. Ibuki, Da Vinci Rider, Habetrat, Tamamo, and Tamamo Cat get 50% damage up and 20% bond. Mash also gets the 50% damage up. So, Mash gets bonus damage, and she does your team-wide, 5% bond up. Betty Enma, Barghest, Vitra, Summer Tamamo, Melusine, Jaguarman, Red Hair, Miss Crane, Kiyokoyo, Asterios, Lobo, Gorgon, and Summer Kiara, specifically Summer Kiara, get plus 30% damage and 20% bond. The Gacha CEs also give you damage up. The 5-star gives you 80, 100% MLB. The 4-star gives you 50%, 65% MLB, and the 3-star one gives you 20%, 30% MLB, respectively, and a party bond up. That is sort of a rarity. So, yeah, we have damage bonus CEs in the gacha. I'm not sure I'm super happy about that, but that does at least mean that you can roll for the 3-star one in the FP gacha. This will come with a banner. You will get Taigon Wong as the 5-star, Nikich as the 4-star, plus the bonus CEs. There will also be new gacha CEs after we're going to rotate in. They will not be on raid up, but they will start appearing and be in the regular one. Those are the new version of Prisma Cosmos, new version of whatever the one with the twin maids is, and the student council one. So you're looking at St. Joseph Winter for NP damage up and NP per turn, Garden Caretakers for NP gain and start with 30%, and Student Council Precedent for just plus 25% NP gain on arts cards as a 3-star. That sounds cute. But yeah, so you'll have a bonus list. It'll be very specific, but there's some real action there. I think your biggest winners are probably, in terms of damage, are going to be Ibuki, Melusine, maybe Vitra. If you want to go endurance mode, Barghest is on this list, and she is in Swollenated. If you want to try some speed comps or just fucking SWAT ads, you do have access to Da Vinci Rider. I don't know how good that is. And Tamamo Cat, obviously. And Cat is on, not Cat, regular Tamamo is on bonus for, damage. Boosting you up with your team support. And for those ruler mobs, like I said, there are 2 Avengers on this list. I suspect I will be getting some flex out of Gorgon. Fucking blowing up dudes. Praying for those crits. But yeah, that's the pregame. I think this event won't be too tough, but there will be some fight. You will have to put your A game, A brain on. Hopefully you will get, some good guys in support. I'm pretty sure you can use team support. Robyn, I'm pretty sure that's not true because You listened to the Lost Belt 6 pregame, right? I had to talk about Big Fluff there, and several other bosses who I think were much more rude. I mean, the 3 turns of buff null sucks butts, but I think you can debuff immunity yet. But yeah, no, this will be interesting to see, and we're going to probably play with some units, some who are popular, some who are not, and, good luck, have fun, everybody. And do not get super complacent about those raids. Like I said, we'll take a little longer than JP, but also we are starting on a weekend, and we are technically starting, before the actual holiday break for realsies, so, depending on when some of these drop, people may or may not be off for the holidays. And like I said, JP cleared a couple of these in 24 hours, so keep your eyes on the prize, y'all. Oh, right. I think I did not mention the raid for the retainers, because they're all over the place. The big one is that ruler boss drops half the skill gems in the fucking game. It's all the cavalry class ones, just all of them. So that's probably a good one to farm. The final this is weird. Is this a misrun? No, I think so the final boss, raid 4, they drop, at least according to the wiki, blue and yellow skill gems of literally every class. Where are the red skill gems? Don't know. But they're gonna drop you a lot of QP, and they're gonna drop mats, which include spirit roots, hydra vodka, mirrors, snake gems, night metals, giant rings, fantasy scales, and tiny bells. Tiny bells and fantasy scales on the last raid boss. So that's why that shit goes so fast, chat. But yeah, I'm super excited to this one for all the story stuff. We'll probably in a few weeks, I should say, probably have a hearty episode to talk about a story recap here. But also, I'm looking forward to good fights and good jams. But that's Tunguska, everybody.
Let's get there.
Yep.
Super hoop.
And we'll be, I'm pretty sure they're going to line up the timing so it does the same thing, but the 31st and the first area, that's when we're going to get obviously New Year's, but also when we're going to get the access to Grail casting and the new Mystic Code. Also, everybody, the event to be over.
Yarp. I was not able to get my 5th extra copy, or 6th extra copy, I should say. So, oh well.
Oh, now I have to. I backed all the way out to the main menu, and it did update. But when I try to fucking spend my lotto, my tree spoons, that's when it goes. I see how it is, FGO. Give me my login and stuff. But that means that with the free talk out of the way, it is time for the What's Up portion. It will probably not be super long today.
Probably not, no.
I still have Blue-Eyed Samurai in question mark, but he says no. But I did leave that on there, one as a reminder in general, but also because there is some news related there. They've officially gotten a second season greenlit.
Nice.
Which is good, because while it is a complete story, there's, very clearly has and the adventure continues type ending, so I'm glad we have confirmed we are getting a second season. Second season for everybody.
Speaking of Netflix, though, just yesterday, the Yu Yu Hakusho live action actually came out. I've been seeing people talk about it here and there, and apparently people say that it's good, but it's way too fucking short. They tried to condense way too much into, 5 episodes?
Yeah, so OSP's Red actually talked about this, and I know that I'm pretty sure she's a big fan of the original series, because she's used it as an example for stuff before. But yeah, she's very pro the adaptation, but does admit that it is wild. They compressed, I think, 30 episodes of anime or more into 5 episodes of live action. It's nutty.
It's a little messed up, in my opinion, because I feel like this is the problem with the quote-unquote the Netflix adaptation thing. People don't want to be spending, a fuck ton of money of something that can potentially, just fucking bomb. And so they try to make it, as cheap as fucking possible. Cause sometimes we get hit, sometimes we get our hits, Blue-Eyed Samurai, Castlevania, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, the Yu Yu Hakusho, One Piece. We can list a bunch of pretty decent adaptations that they've done. But for every one that we have, I'm pretty sure some people can just name 2 or 3 are just absolute horrendous. And I feel like it's made people especially filmmakers or TV makers. I don't actually know what to fucking call them now that I think about it. Have creators not want to double down on making shows or making long shows because, these things cost, and if they don't make their money back, it's going to be bad. Like, fucking, this has something that's been happening in theaters, like, I swear, just about, like, most, like, there's a lot of, like, major film companies out there trying to put out their, big AAA, and they are just bombing at the box office for one reason or another.
I mean, the general vibes I'm getting from feedback is the ones that are bombing are usually just kind of, like, mediocre, average. Not necessarily bad, but not necessarily worth going out to this theater, paying the inflated, because everything is inflated price for a movie theater ticket and, the popcorn and whatever, just to see an okay movie when you can catch it, in 6 to 12 months on streaming, right?
Yeah.
I myself am debating and probably going to see, because, usually we sometimes go out for a movie on my birthday. I'm debating if we want to do that because it's cold. Because I would like to see The Boy and the Heron, but it's been chilly lately. Also, I think they'll probably still be in theaters by then. It's out now.
It should be.
People are saying, Miyazaki's magnum opus, his best work and stuff, and I'm like, that's cool. I'll go to the theater to see that. But, like, am I going to go watch, Disney's Wish? Probably not. People are just kind of being like, it exists. So, it's there's a lot of crunch for everybody, inflation, it's the holiday season. But, yeah, it's definitely been, like a lot of people are questioning, like, hey, is this going to, be a bad time for movie theaters? And it might be, but like for movie studios and movie productions, some of that is because they probably couldn't pad this out because there was a writer's strike and an actor's strike, which were only resolved recently, and that may end up hurting some stuff, but we'll see how it all shakes out. But yeah, it's a little interesting to see some back and forth. The Yu Yu Hakusho thing is very interesting, because somebody in our Patreon chat just said they compressed 70-plus episodes into 5. So, like, fucking wild. But I guess if you're just trying to get it done, I mean, there have been other attempts, like, how many live-action JoJo movies are there? Is it just one that tries to do all of Part 4, or are there, like, 2 of them? Like, I think there were, like, 2 or 3 live-action Death Note movies adapting, the manga and anime, which is, like, 50 episodes, so, like, it's not unheard of to get these compressions, but it's still pretty wild for that to be, like, the Netflix version is, going for that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Speaking of like, semi-bombs, it is not necessarily, like, because it's not actually out in theaters, but the critic reviews for Zack Snyder's new movie, Rebel Moon, have come out. Ooh, that's going to Netflix first. The reviews are not good. They're very low. At all. Obviously, we will see.
Pretty bad.
I don't think like I believe critics were pretty cold to lukewarm on Mario movie. Obviously, that when the audience got a hold of it, they liked it a lot better.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that sticks true to this. But like, I have doubts, and I just feel like we're in a weird spot where, like, movies are not necessarily getting that zazz, that riz that everybody wants all the time. Which is, interesting, because there's stuff in other entertainment. Video games are weird this year because it's been a banger year for video game releases, but also a lot of studios have gone through a lot of rough stuff.
Yeah, there's been a lot of layoffs. I do believe that, due to the recent big Hasbro layoff, actually a bunch of I believe they actually had some video game teams under them, and they are starting to feel the
also several of Wizards of the Coast, which is responsible for D&D and Magic the Gathering under Hasbro, also actually got hit with some of that layoff.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to see them tighten that up. But also, hey, Hasbro / WotC, you probably could have avoided this without that gaming license debate that made a lot of people drop you like a hot potato. Also, this was the year that, like, Hasbro / Wizards, I believe, got the like credit of their stocks downgraded by banks because, like, people literally, like, are fatigued by Magic releases and stuff, and so they're moving less value of product. It's very interesting. I mean, the gaming stuff is mostly on executives, and I feel like we don't take those guys to task enough, but what can you do, right? Because gamers will not, as the audience, you will not stop. And I know that some people are going to be like, what do you mean I stopped? But, like, the people we reach will not necessarily mean it. But, like, if you really want to take Blizzard to task for the fact that, like, Bobby Kotick is an overpaid CEO who is kind of a bad guy, you needed to not buy Diablo 4. That didn't work. You bought Diablo 4. If you're concerned about how much money, Activision makes, etc., you need to not buy Modern Warfare. And while I don't know how many people are playing Modern Warfare, a lot of people bought Modern Warfare, There's a lot of stuff that like with video games that people are just fire and forget on, and it does hurt the stuff long term, but it's not always like meaningful immediately and doesn't lead to shakeups. You need to, unfortunately, and I don't think it should be this way, but the way it is like to get executives out, they need to be like embarrassed personally. Whereas if a game just does kind of mid, they can just lay off a bunch of people and like soak up the damage and move stuff around. There's also some other interesting video game news. Shocking nobody, I think. Last of Us Online, which is apparently what Naughty Dog was calling it internally, has been canceled.
No, I don't think that shocked anybody. I think the big shocker for me this week is the scandal. That's what I'm fucking call it, the scandal around the day before.
Yes, I think that result is scandalous. Yes,
yes.
Know a little bit of the story. Yeah.
If I'm pretty sure many of you out there know, but the day before was it's been in development for a very long time, and was billed as basically a crafting survival modern MMO experience. It finally got released only a couple days ago, and it turns out it's a very, very bad extract shooter. Real bad. This shit was immediately review bombed, and I won't say review bombed because I don't think it was actually undeserved.
Like it's not like people were upset about the company for like saying something on Twitter. They bought a product that for like, I think it would have been like 3 years it had been like announced. That had been advertised one way for like 3 years. The product comes out, people buy it, and they're like, "Wait a minute, hold on,
what the
fuck is anything like what I wanted?"
And the company who built it said, "Oh, sorry, that was bad. We're closing our company. Bye," and fucking scarpered.
Allegedly, they are working with Steam to give you a refund if you want a refund, but I do not know if Steam will break their normal universal refund policy, which is you have to have played it for a minimum number of hours.
No,
like,
people are. It's been, oh my god, it's actually been a wild fucking week with that. The fucking artistic nudity of Twitch and its immediate fucking reversal.
Yes, I mean I think everybody expected that reversal.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I will say, like, obviously, I do think that some people gave Twitch a little too much credit. They heard that, like, Twitch was going to allow, quote-unquote, artistic nudity, and were like, oh, so I can draw porn on Twitch? No. That was never going to be allowed. What they said is that, basically, I think some of these still stuck. They're going to be a little more lenient about female and female-presenting streamers, like, physical appearance, about the chest area and stuff, because they would get on you for, like, accidentally showing cleavage when you, like, adjust your fucking webcam. Hell, my favorite funny story about how dumb Twitch's rules are is that, you may hear about terms like, assigned male or female at birth. You ever heard about somebody being assigned female at ban? There is a male streamer. He claims to be male, but he cross-dresses very convincingly, down to the having fake tits, and was banned for showing them off on a webcam on Twitch. So you have assigned female at ban. And like I said, this is not I do not think this is a trans rights thing. This person identifies as a male crossdresser, but like Twitch was like, nah, dude, those tits were too real. Ban. So like Twitch is bad. And I think they have stayed back down on some of that stuff with like the chest up area. The artistic nudity thing went because some people got a little too hardcore. Some people were not labeling correctly. And also, the I think it was the CEO of Twitch, but they cited that the reason they decided to walk this back is that people started using AI tools to generate AI porn pictures of real people, which shouldn't be allowed anyway, but like I could see Twitch being like, okay, all right, this is going to be a legal problem. You got to stop that. So
No, I definitely believe that the minute people, like, Twitch, it ain't good. It's a horrible platform in my opinion. But I also know people are horrible people.
Yeah.
The minute someone thinks they can get away with something, they will immediately fucking do it. Immediately.
And like the reason this came up is because somebody was quote unquote getting away with something. You've probably seen this one. I feel kind of bad for her. This one poor woman, like her face is in every screenshot of the story about Twitch doing this. But she had engaged in a meta where technically I think she's just wearing a tube top, but it looks like she's topless because of the way the camera's positioned, and was like the most popular stream on Twitch, and people were upset about this, and Twitch decided to like try and be more positive about that and not like weird. And it is in general, and several other streamers were talking about this, the way Twitch's policies were handled previously were way more targeted against women, because if you had all started to appear like you might be doing something sexual, Twitch would get on you. Which sucks, because most of those streamers are not actually trying to be sexualized. It's their chats who get super horny for them for no reason. I think I saw a clip of like Hassan, who I do not necessarily like as a person, but like he's on Twitch a lot, so I think he knows. He talked about how like Pokemon gets, sexualized to all hell, even though she's just like trying to be normal on Twitch. So like it's a weird relationship, and I agree with you that I think the platform feels like it kind of sucks, but every platform that is big is kind of enduring a sort of in-shitification, as we call it. That is the official term that internet people have coined, where things get dumber. Like, if you don't like the way Discord's new, mobile interface has gone. Personally, the other thing I think that bothers me about that is the thing about pinned comments just saying, there is an image here, there is a link here. That's like, okay, Twitter, that comment is probably pinned so you can see that image whenever you want, but sure, whatever, you're changing images. YouTube has been getting wacky and wild with the ads lately. They're trying to, tell you that ad blockers are not okay. You see a lot of this stuff, but yeah, it's like you said, you give people an inch and they will try to take a mile, so some walk back is expected.
Yeah.
Twitch tried to make a positive change, and it got a little blown out, and they rolled some of it back. It's crazy. I do want to say, to cycle back to the story about Last of Us, I do find it interesting. Naughty Dog's like reason for it, right?
Oh well, actually, I didn't actually read the statement. I just saw it's canceled. I was like, yeah, call that shit, and just toss it over my shoulder.
Well, so they talked about it. They've been working on it for a couple of years now. They tried working with outside studios, then it came back to them. Basically, what they said was, they realized that as they got deeper into like developing and quality assurance testing, they basically realized this would be a proper standalone online Last of Us that would be a service game, right?
Right.
And they basically said, we came to the realization as a studio, if we were going to do this game and do it right, we would have to transition to being a live service studio full time, which would mean that we would have to delay our other story-based single-player game projects, and that's just not us. So we unfortunately have to make the decision to cancel Last of Us Online. Which is...
You know what? No, please finish.
I was going to say, that's really interesting, and I suspect the thing you're about to say is, you know what? Fair.
Yeah!
No, like, I agree with that. It's sad that they had to take all these years of development and all these money to realize this was going to be a decision, but, like, yeah, no, that's how live service games work. We have a lot of bad live service games which come out of studios that shouldn't be making them. Redfall by Arcane? Arcane should probably not be making a live service multiplayer shooter. That's not their jam. Recently, Hyenas by Creative Assembly, published by Sega, straight up canceled after the beta because Creative Assembly was like, you know what? We don't do live service games. That's not us. Sega has straight up said they're going back to putting them on RTS games. Also, if you're upset about the latest Total War Warhammer, they are also attempting to make amends there. They said that they're going to do some free updates to make the latest DLC they released, which is at a higher price point, worth more, and they're going to try and make their future DLCs at that higher price point bigger, basically. Also, I think they said that their upcoming Total War Pharaoh game, they're paring it down. The basic release is still going to be only $40 at launch. So, like, that's actually, like, responding to community feedback and realizing, like, hey, shit, maybe we don't need to go this route. Also, with Hyenas canceled, they may actually be able to afford that. Because it sounds like that was a Sega-level decision from the publisher, so they probably didn't, like, lose as much money as they could have if it was them. But yeah, I personally approve of studios realizing they are not in the position to push a live service game and going, nah. It is much better for you to do a Hyenas or a Last of Us Online and cancel the game than to do a BioWare and publish an Anthem, try to make it work for a year, and then have Big Daddy EA go, yeah, I don't know if you guys got this. We're gonna call it. Because that means that you released a bad game and you didn't have time to fix it, and it's wild. But I would much prefer to live in the world where studios realize that not every game can be or should be live service, and like trying to just release product, you know, like fucking Square Enix. I mean, obviously they technically have a live service product. They have several gacha games and they have an MMO, but like they seem content to be like, yeah, nope, we're gonna still produce games like this. You want a new Mana game? We're making it. We're gonna make tactical RPGs. We got our DLC plans for Final Fantasy, 16. Also, hey, by the way, Yoshi P says in a different interview, the actual director of 16, whose name escapes me, he said that with the DLC, it would be unlikely that we get a playable Jill or Sid or anybody else. Because that would require a lot of overhaul to the code of the game. You know, they kind of made the decision to streamline it about one player character. But Yoshi P said that if the PC version sells like a lot, it is possible that they may actually have the money to go back and do these big edits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like they're still pushing forward on that single player content. Also, it does sound like, regardless, there may be impact to the Rising Tide DLC because you will be adding Leviathan to your arsenal. That may involve expansions or changes to the ending. So we may actually get like golden end mode when that DLC comes out. We'll see. Which I appreciate, by the way. Like, obviously, some people will be like, "Oh, you're going to charge me like $10 for an extra ending," but it's an extra ending because you're adding a new icon. You know, like that may actually change up the story a little. So we'll see how that goes.
Listen, I am willing to pay that much just for another icon fight, just in general.
And there, I believe they have said there will be at least one icon fight, new fight in this. And I'm like,
let's go.
Yeah, new mechanics, new fights. Also, hey, by the way, Lucky, you were absolutely right when you called it. It's been enough time. It has been revealed that the part that Platinum worked on was the Titan fight.
Yeah,
they were able to admit that. People didn't make as much of a big deal, but I do assume that the Kingdom Hearts team worked on the Bahamut fight. That's the one that felt the most Kingdom Hearts to me.
I think they worked on the Bahamut fight and probably on the Ramu battle system, the Ramu mechanics.
Oh yeah, because that's literally shot lock. They may have worked on that. But yeah, I've heard good things about the Echoes of the Fallen DLC. I haven't picked it up yet, just because, like I said, even though it's like 3 hours, I don't have the time just now. I need to like chip on my other backlog a little. I've been trying to play Cyberpunk, but do other stuff, and It's hard when I've got nothing but story content left. You know, I need to.
It is a little weird. Like I'm already like I haven't beat Dogtown yet. I'm still getting at the party because I did the thing where I probably shouldn't have, and because I was looking up items and stuff, and I figured out like there's only certain items you can get if you've done missions beforehand before you do another mission. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
and I've been working on that, but the bad thing about Cyberpunk, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a mixed bag. Some missions you have to actually wait days for.
Oh, yeah.
In game. And honestly, I will say I do like that. Generally, overall, I think that's a positive thing. Sometimes you have to, just maybe sit on your butt. Usually, this is a great time for you to go do other things. And me, I am one of those people who I will just kind of wander around Night City, just be like, do, Ganger! And blast them. But at the same time,
which is a little better after the 2.1 update. I'm pretty sure this was a new event somewhere in 2.0 or 2.1. I was ambushed by a makeshift checkpoint by Maelstrom on the road once. They put a couple of burning cars in my way.
Oh yeah, no, I've been hit by Maelstrom, Tiger Claws, and what's left of the Voodoo Boys. I definitely don't care about that last one. Fuck you, Placide.
Yeah.
So I do have like a bit of time. It's a little weird, but I do wish that the airdrop caches were like maybe like in all of Pacifica, not just Dogtown, because I do like getting the airdrop caches, and because usually there's a combat involved, and then like let me just pop my Octo Camo and my Sand Devastate and just invisibly kill everyone in 3 seconds. It's great.
Or do what I've been doing to finish up Cyber Psychos. I got the I'm after the party quest. I'm on the quest after that, but I got to have a cool little chat with Songbird about stuff. And she was just like, "Here, let me give you an incentive to come talk to me privately, V. I'm gonna give you 3 relic points for free." So I unlocked the relic bonus for Opto Camo, which means that if you activate Opto Camo mid-fight, enemies just lose track of you. I've been punking cyber psychos like this. Because you can't do it right away because there's a little scripting, but if you wait until part of the way through the fight and you Opto Camo up, you can just grab him from behind and knock him out. It's way easier than fucking hitting him with a katana. So, like, the relic stuff, stupid, but fun. But yeah, no, I kind of wish the airdrops were everywhere as well, because, like, I'm glad there's procedural content. The car stealing missions are fairly repetitive, even with the bonuses. The airdrops are fun, but like you said, you can only do them in Dogtown, and I haven't yet finished unlocking all of the street race stuff, because you have to complete quiz for that, and that's one of those quests where in between races, you have to wait a day. So it's like, and also, I was going to say this earlier, also, you and I are freaks, who just did, like, all the gigs and like open world content we could first to like speed level before we did story.
It's
probably not
true.
Normally how it's supposed to, like, you're probably supposed to do those when the game is like, wait a day for Takamura to call. And now I'm like, shit, I don't have anything to do.
No, I am the person who completely finishes Watson before I do like anything in the prologue.
I'm just like, oh shit, Judy, you want to come see my apartment in Corpo Center, the Corpo Tower apartment? I got the thing. I did like to appreciate though that I got what in real life would be a fucking spam call, but I got an alert on a deal, and they're like, "Hey, Night City Gifts. You want to send a gift now? Flowers, miniatures." And I'm like, "Judy likes tech. She'll like a miniature, right?" I got her the tiny Porsche model. She loved it. Good job, me. Just like giving gifts in real life. But yeah, no, like the atmospheric detail is cool, but there's a lot of downtime, and it's just like I want to do main story stuff, but that means I need a few hours to string together, which obviously while we've been, like, turbo farming Lotto and I've been doing other stuff, I have not had. Also, I've been a gremlin and playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. I'm leveling Arcanist now, so.
No, like, my game log is, like, still bad. Like, I told everyone I bought, like, $120 worth of Guilty Gear games. I bought, like, I bought Strive, and I bought 3 versions of the PS4 one. I still don't know how to pronounce this. I still think it's like third, because it's XRD, which is supposed to be, I feel like, a third or something like that. I don't fucking know. But, like, I bought them mostly just so I can own them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I am just one day gonna build a vault and and just seal it. Suck all the air out of it. Let one day.
Okay, it is Xrd. It's like Exceed, but third.
Oh, Xrd. Okay. Xrd. Okay. And just leave it for future generations to maybe one day find.
Yeah.
I can't take it with me, but I can leave it for someone else.
And that's kind of how archaeology works, yeah. Also, hey, speaking of Arxis, I've heard good things about Granblue Fantasy versus Rising. You know, the new version just came out. Yeah. I've heard good things.
I have been seeing the brothers everywhere in all their scenes. It's amazing. Actually, yeah, no, I've actually been seeing a lot of Arxis games on the Twitter. Everyone loves Outfit.
Yep.
Oh, I should probably pick up Granblue Fantasy Versus next too. I stopped playing the gacha game like years ago, but Narmea is still one of my top tier fucking waifus forever.
I mean, I've never been into the gacha. Like, I feel like I missed the boat, and then it just, like, it was, like, several years old.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm interested in Relink when it comes out, because they're like, hey, what if we just told you all that story shit in a new format? And I'm like, cool, I'll buy this.
Nah, I'm for that too, personally.
I probably won't buy it right away, because you're sandwiched in the winter and spring of RPGs, but, like, I'll put it on my wish list for later.
But I still need to beat Sea of Stars. I know
Yes.
I need to beat it, and then I need to beat it again. So that's on there, because I refuse to not beat that. It's a very good game.
No, yeah,
very
no, like
good game.
It's personally firmly fixed in my backlog as well. I'm like, I want to beat Cyberpunk first for reasons, but then I'm like, and if I don't beat Cyberpunk soon, I need to start playing fucking Sea of Stars and just boot it up. Because I can casually play that. Despite the fact that, like, I am torn by intrusive video game thoughts. like, I've been watching Mike Burnfire. You may know them, our community from Zach's Gun Rants videos and their campfire stories. They also have a, like, 400 episode Fallout New Vegas series that I can't possibly get into because it's, like, 400 episodes. But I think this year they started a Skyrim series, and I've been watching that, and it occasionally makes me go, like, oh, man, I could just put in Skyrim. I'm like, no, don't do that. No, stop.
Don't do that. No.
You'll never come back. You boot up Skyrim, you're going to waste 100 hours in that game building a fucking house and looking at the mod list that's allowed in the PlayStation version, which is sadly not be as cool as the mod list they have. You will appreciate them, Lucky. They have, like, texture replacers for, like, all of the monstrous but female enemies to be, like, sexy.
Yes.
There's a lot of funny about big booty frost astronauts and shit. Like, it's a funny time. But it's like, I'm like, no, fight those intrusive thoughts. I got shit to do. This just kind of transition, though. I did finally manage to pull up my PlayStation 2023 wrap-up, because it feels like it's a good time to talk about how games went. It is funny. My first game of this year, literally on January 1st, was Judgment.
Huh.
So, you know, we're good to be in there. But we got a few things tickling on. Can I, like, minimize this? Sorry, this is like, I did finish this up, but it's like loading very slowly now. I did, like, capture my top 5 at some point and tweet it. And, like, it should shock nobody. But my most played game this year was Final Fantasy XIV.
Let's see. For Lucky here, my first game was Neo 2 Remastered, the Complete Edition. I'm pretty sure I got that for Christmas last year. I did love it.
Yep, sounds all right. Okay,
Honestly, looking at my top 5, actually, I probably have not been on my PlayStation 5 as much as I normally did. My top 5 is Cyberpunk 2077. Says I spent 337 hours on it. Followed by Final Fantasy 16, Dismantle, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and Sea of Stars.
Interesting. Yeah, mine is skewed by some of the games I play that are like, this will shock nobody. My top games are mostly RPGs, and the one that isn't an RPG is another, you know, free to play live service continually updated game. My number one game, with 34% of my playtime, is Final Fantasy XIV Online. You know, the PS5 version. This year I spent 589 hours in it as of last week. I actually, because I have the PlayStation app on my phone now to fucking get images off, because you can't share them on Twitter anymore. My total, according to my PlayStation app stats on Final Fantasy, is 645 hours. Probably only like 10 to 20 of those hours are sitting AFK in places.
You gotta get those numbers up.
Yeah.
Gotta AFK in Linsa.
My number 2 game, with 12% of my playtime and 206 hours this year, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. That should not come as a shock. I do actually enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel like I have to play the game semi-regularly to actually, like, do stuff, and games can take a while. Like, when an event is on, I usually do my reps and play, like, 1 hour a day, so it makes sense. Number 3 is Cyberpunk, 7% of my playtime, only 137 hours this year, but I do have 343 hours total, so, you know. I had some extra runs in there because of, I actually got in on, like, the 1.5 and 1.6 update. My number 4 is Final Fantasy 16 with 104 hours, and number 5 is Judgment with 99 hours. This makes sense. These games are very long. I didn't get super far into Lost Judgment, so when I actually get to that, that's gonna probably shoot up for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that'll be my plan. I'll on January 1st, I'll go back to playing Lost Judgment so I can complete the set. My gaming style was role player because I had 49% of my games were RPGs. Let me find which tab is the month by month. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, mine was Gunslinger because 28% of the time of my game time was lining up shots and making them count. That's Cyberpunk.
Yep. So let's see. January was game of the month was Judgment. February was Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line. I need to get back to that game. Now that I've played more Final Fantasy XIV, I can understand more of the Final Fantasy XIV music. March, my top game was Final Fantasy XIV, and then basically every other month it will be Final Fantasy XIV. April was when I got really back into playing Zodiac Age for a while. That barely missed the top 10. I put 88 hours into that game this year.
Honestly, let's see here.
May was 14. June and July were both 16. August and September were 14. October was Cyberpunk. November was 14. And December is cheating because it was only like halfway over, but it was Slay the Spire. I got that on PS Plus, and I put like 27 hours into it over like a week.
Yeah, so here's my year in play. January was Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. February was Like a Dragon Ishin. March was Mass Effect Legendary Edition. April was Resident Evil 4. May, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. June and July were Final Fantasy 16. August was Armored Core 6. September, Sea of Stars. October, Cyberpunk. November, Star Ocean First Departure R. And then December, Cyberpunk as well.
Very curious how I missed Resident Evil, but what month was that for you? March or April?
April.
Okay, that was my Final Fantasy. Yes, I definitely played Final Fantasy 12 more hours than Resident Evil, just because Resident Evil's a much shorter game.
I feel like your stats are always going to be skewed because you play 14 on your PS5.
Oh,
whereas,
yeah, no, that is going to just slam a jam. Like, if they did the for real stats, my game for December probably would be 14 again. Because I'm I do stuff. I do blue quests, despite what you may hear, and also, like I said, I've been leveling Arcanist, which is a funny time. I'm a level 28 Arcanist. I'm about to get my Jobstone and stuff, and finally start that out. I still don't know what the fuck the Arcanist guild does. Why do book nerds with carbuncles inspect cargo? Why is that our job? What are we doing here? Why does the former guildmaster want me to dance so much? Who is this weirdo? Why are we here? Questions for later. That does remind me, though. PS Plus did give out its new games for this month.
Oh, did they?
Yep. We've got our new block. GTA 5 is among that list, actually, coinciding.
Oh,
with
that's why I didn't care.
Yeah, the release of it. For your extra. What were the monthly games? Because those have been out for a while. New to the game catalog. That's not helping me at all. Oh shit, is it Power Wash Simulator free this month? Shit, dude, I gotta get that. That was on several of our Discord members' top games. If it's free, I need that shit. I'll Power Wash. But the other ones are, so GTA 5, there's a couple of games I don't recognize the name of, Gigabash, Grime. There's a lot of, Mega Man. Mega Man 11, and I think for premium, they've got the Mega Man Legacy Collections.
Well, I bought one, so, yeah.
No, the regular Mega Man, not the X ones.
Oh.
Maybe later we'll get Mega Man X, but for now it's classic Mega Man. Metal Hellsinger is free. Salt and Sacrifice. Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin made it to PS Plus.
That's good.
If you haven't played it already. Also, all of the Shadowrun RPGs on PlayStation for free. If you haven't already played them, those are all like isometric and turn-based, so I'm sure they'll be fine on a PlayStation, but you can get them now.
No, they're fun. But fun fact, when I first heard that it was Shadowrun, I was like, the Super Nintendo one? And I was like, wait a minute.
Nah. No.
Believe it or not, that was my first Shadowrun.
I believe that game is considered pretty well, yeah. I've never played it, but no, it's Returns, Dragonfall, and Hong Kong. Both of those latter two are like Director's Cut and Extended. That reminds me, I already own all three of these games on Steam. I don't think I ever did a full playthrough of Hong Kong.
I think I've only done the OG. I never played Hong Kong or Dragonfall.
No, if you haven't, you should check out Dragonfall for sure. That one's I appreciated that one. That's also where some fun characters are from. Everybody's a real fan of. There's an orc sniper you're paired with. She's very great, and there's Mercy, the super borged up murder machine lady. They're cool.
Of course, they're named Mercy.
Yeah, but no, it's a great fucking time. But yeah, so those are some pretty cool games on that list. And if Power Wash is actually the monthly game, I'm gonna. Hey, guess what I'm gonna do while I'm fucking editing this? I'm gonna power wash or level Arcanist. I've got my plans. But yeah, I just I appreciate among the many wrap-ups of the year, I appreciate the PlayStation 1 because it lets me look back and be like, yeah, like it says I played like 39 games this year.
I only played 21. Woo.
I mean, me is definitely like I played and tried out a bunch of weird like PS Plus games at some point to just like kill time. I have where's my hours? I do have and this is the most time probably is I have in 2023 I played a total of 1,714 hours. But again, that is a skewed number because that I believe that is counting time I have had games open and just sitting. Like, that's why my Slay the Spire time was so long, because it's a turn-based roguelike, so I just would just fucking sit on it. Oh, interesting. Maya Issei has posted her 10th anniversary of Final Fantasy 14 message. They're doing a lot of those. Yoko Taro did one of them.
Yoko Taro's was pretty fucking hilarious. They didn't actually talk about the game, just talk about Yoshi P's blink and his loud-ass shoes. And how they probably won't be here for the 20th because they'll be dead. Damn it. Oh god, I love it so much. But yeah, Mario Issei. Let's go.
Yeah. I also do appreciate one thing, because at times Sony has been really annoying to me for like transitioning between like desktop and other stuff. I appreciate that, like, I did this on my desktop. There's a button to redeem voucher to get like a special avatar and a little collectible thing. I just pushed a fucking button and it was like, yeah, that worked, Chief. Thumbs up. You've unlocked it. I'm like, cool. I'm not switching over off my 99-cent Medusa avatar, but like, thanks. And I will say, I do appreciate they do have a little, more from PlayStation, letting you know there's some stuff coming. Helldivers 2 is at the front of this, but also, Stellar Blade is like number 2 in this slideshow. So
yeah,
they're still repping it. I appreciate that. Rise of the Ronin, Rebirth, Tekken 8, Silent Hill. So like, yeah, it was a cool time. But it is midnight and we're recording for almost 2.5 hours. So with that out of the way, unless you got any other funny things in your PlayStation wrap-up to bring up. Ow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we could probably wrap up here. Ow. Sorry, I was bending my shoulders in a weird way to download Power Wash Simulator. But, yeah, no. If that's it, then we can probably skedoodle on out of here. It is now technically the 16th, so I believe the monthly poll for Fanservice Friday has ended, so I will check that really quick as part of our outro. Oh, yep, it ended, and now there's a tie, actually, so I have to ask Lucky to break it. So,
what we got?
Your selections for this month included Dead Moroz, Grandfather Winter writer, Frau Gauden writer, Maria Otkebaya writer. There's a lot of writers in Winter, sorry. And Maliger Lancer. And the tie with 33% of the vote each is Dead Moroz and Frau Gauden. So, Lucky, do you want to learn about Winter or the Wild Hunt?
Wild Hunt.
All right. Frau Gauden it is. So we'll count that as her Winzo, and we'll do that probably next week then? Yeah. If I'm going to take the 29th off, that'll be our last show of the next week of the month and the year. I have accidentally made my mic stand very loose, but the show's almost over, so we're going to write it out, everybody. But if chat doesn't have any last-minute bamboozles for me, and Lucky has nothing else he wants to bring up at this time... Sorry, I phrased that as a statement, but it was a question. Yeah.
Yeah. That took me a moment.
We'll get on out of here. So, hey, if you're watching this video, be sure to give it a like if you liked it. Leave your comments down below. Count those oh-nos and other sound cues and other fun stuff. If you want to talk about your PlayStation Wrapped stats, you can do it in the comments or on our Discord. Discord link is in the video description and on our channel page. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more videos, and make sure you ring the bell for more notifications so you can check out our streams and other videos. Like, there will be, some Wanteds coming up in the not-too-distant future. So make sure you're subbed and belled for all that stuff. You can also join our channel memberships, access membership badges or emotes. And like I said at the start of the show, you can consider supporting us on Patreon to get access to audio versions of the show early for as little as $1 a month or $10 a year, which may be important with, a new year coming up. Block in your annual now. It'll last all the way till next December. And among other things, you can, get other videos early and at higher levels watch the show live. And that do be how it is. Ha! Sorry, Robyn posted his really quick, and it is indeed just hit Final Fantasy at top for him. And then 16. Good Final Fantasy year. Hopefully more next year. But yeah, that's everything I got. Oh, I should say, we did record an AP that'll be coming out soon. But I wanted to remind Lucky to upload it Thursday, but then I died a little on Thursday. I got better, but yeah, that's why that'll probably be a few days delayed. But keep your eyes out for more Alan Wake as well. All right, okay, that's everything. I gotta get out of here and run this edit. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Night.